Welcome back to the channel. My name is aimforthefeet, and today in the interview series that I don't have a fucking name for yet, I am sitting down and talking to Aaron Pensky, former Evo World Champion, also known as Psychoblue, also known as Mr. Cross Tekken. This guy really is kind of the heart of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which was a botched launch game by Capcom in 2012. They fixed pretty much all their problems by 2013, but by then Capcom had already updated Street Fighter 4 with the A 2012 update and announced Ultra, I believe, and just kind of let it all but die. And today we're going to talk to Aaron about how he's really pushed the game and continued to get it a lot of majors and really started to build a resurgence. They had a great tournament online during all this quarantine bullshit, like probably a week ago. So I hope you are entertained by this. And yeah, on with the show.
And to this day, whenever I think about garbage fighting games like SK Hero and stuff like that,
Yeah.
objectively, is it better than Death Ray?
Yeah, that game was bad.
I'm not just upset, I'm offended. What the fuck is this shit?
Dude, did you ever play Zero Divide?
I did not play Zero Divide.
Yeah, let's do it. So, for the record, who are you and where did you come from, man?
What is up, everyone? My name is Psychoblue, also known as Aaron Pensky. I am the conductor of the Hype Train. I am Mr. Hype Gems. I am hashtag Crosswires. And among many other things, I am hashtag Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
This is true.
I am proud to say that I told you so. Because I know a lot of people listening to this are going to be people from the Virginia area. At this point, they know who I am. They know what I'm about. And some of them know how long I've been about this.
You've been pushing that game forever.
Forever. It started, I remember the first night it came out. And this was at Robin's house, Dungeon, Richmond. I don't remember too much about that particular night. I remember like a month later, I got into some kind of kerfluffle about, because I forgot to pay a $2 tab for pickles one time, and that led to this whole mess. Probably because my response, even, I was going to pay it back anyway, but I remember making the joke $2, like from the movie. The Paperboy, $2, and no one appreciated it. And to be fair, I can't blame them. You don't want to lose the trust. So I was going to pay it off anyway. I did forget. But I remember that particular time frame. It first came out, it was the Dungeon. This was not like the bar with the pickles. It was the Dungeon. At the time, my main game was King of Fighters 13.
Okay.
I still love that game. I think that game is like 800 times better than 14. I think 14's crap.
Oh, for sure. We still run it here.
Yeah, well, what, 13?
Yeah.
I'll have to drop, well, once the pandemic passes, I'm considering
yeah.
But yeah, I was a Raiden, Billy, EXE by the time I stopped. But I really like in Hua Jai when I go to the lab. But anyway, back then I was playing King of Fighters 13. What I knew was temporary, because I remember the first day I showed up at Strange Matter. There was a bar in Richmond. Different I was talking about the pickles. And trying to remember what it was. I remember wearing my first Street Fighter Cross Tekken shirt. This is the one that has like June with the Q mask. I'll tell you the story about that one later. But I was wearing that black Cross Tekken shirt, and it said in the back, "Prophecy Fulfilled, 2012." The origin of that phrase was someone called on SRK the one game of prophecy. And I said, I'm keeping that. I'm remembering that. The one game of prophecy. So we played it. Someone made a bet about I would get the first hit on somebody, and I did. So I made some guys some side bet money.
Nice.
Um, I was a Sagat main back then, and then he got nerfed to shreds in version 2013. So I moved to Sagat. Sorry, I moved from Sagat to Bison, and from there I've been a Bison guy since then.
Bison Hihachi.
That's right. And I actually have, like, you can't see it right now, but I can give you a picture later to maybe attach to this podcast when it's updated. I have right over there my top of my dresser a Bison Hachi figure staying in front of my Evo plaque and the Summer
Nice.
Jam I got for first place in Summer Jam 12.
Nice. So what is it about this game?
Oh
Like it
man.
just sucked you in?
Well, I always let me start from the beginning and then I'll try to get the actual point.
Okay.
So, I've been playing fighting games, or at least been keeping track of them since I was in kindergarten.
Wow.
Because before I had systems, mind, I didn't have like the actual console like much later. But in terms of like having a Game Gear, I always had to pick and choose. Your best bet on Game Gear is the Power Rangers game, and go figure. Now Power Rangers is a godlike game in this era. But I would always keep track. I always collect the Game Pros, the EGMs. That was probably my main impression of Street Fighter was probably being on a field trip. This is typically how I play my fighting games before I had my own console or before I had emulation stuff to play with. I would go on field trips and that I spend all my quarters on. If there is like go kart, whatever. I'm gonna be playing Street Fighter 2. Or I'm gonna be playing Primal Rage. I'm gonna be playing Tekken, whatever, or something like that. I am not interested in bumper cars. I'm not interested in the cranes. I'm just going to say whatever fighting game is there, this is what we're playing.
Nice.
And then obviously Street Fighter had that long hiatus. I mean, most people just considered CVS2 Street Fighter 4 because we had given up hope of Street Fighter 4 ever happening. You guys remember that, right?
Yeah.
2001, 2008, that gap where it was like, this is all it's going to be. Because you heard about all the people leaving the company and stuff like that. And then you had Capcom Fighting Jam, which point you knew the whole thing was dead because that was the best they could do.
Yeah, that game was bad.
Oh my god, it's so bad. I know people who prefer to across Tekken, but they're not people I really listen to anyway. uh, so to kind of find an affair, because I can only play the game for so long without getting bored. I'm a teenager at this point. I mean, Marvel 2 already came out when I was in high school. I picked up Tekken because I had Tekken Tag. I remember the first time I had a PS2, the demo disc had Tekken Tag. The game looked gorgeous. The game still looks gorgeous. And then Tekken 5 was drumming up, so I picked up Tekken 5 instead of Budokai. And I got sucked into Tekken. And when I got to college later, like a few months after that, Tekken DR was on the way. And I would take the bus and get horribly carsick on my way to the mall and put up with it to play Tekken DR at the arcade because there's arcade around here and to worry about mom and dad telling you can't do that because you have Bandcamp or crap like that.
Did you play a fun and games in Short Pump?
No, keep in mind in high school, I couldn't really go out the arcades because I was always stuck in Bandcamp. My parents would always micromanage me. But to be fair, I was suspended like 7 or 8 times. So any privilege I would have had were quickly revoked because I was a wild man. And as a lot of people tell you, if they've known me long enough here in the scene, they know it's a wild man, especially starting out. I mean, Robin can't stand me. I still hear he's talking bad about me.
Oh, damn.
So I don't blame him. I mean, some parts I'll say, yeah, he's being oversensitive about it. Some parts I will say, yeah, that's kind of screwed up what I did because I was hyperactive and impulsive. And as you know, you've heard my streams, you heard me talk. You know I'm pretty hyperactive.
Yeah.
And this game, Cross Tekken, when it came out, obviously those two things fused together. My first love and my affair. They're now the sister wives with Beaver Cross Tekken. And also, when my first full-time job happened, I moved to South Hill, beyond South Hill, Clarksville, like middle of nowhere. It's close to the North Carolina border.
Oh, shit. I know where that is.
Real Southern Virginia. Yeah, middle of nowhere. Do you know Hawaiian Shirt Man is from there?
Really?
When I talked to him at Capcom Cup, he told me he was from Danville or something like that.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I said, isn't it fascinating? It's middle of nowhere, isn't it? But we did got a laugh talking about it. I said, well, now we're here. We're in LA. We're whining and dining. You're treated like a superstar because everyone knows who you are. And I'm here recording all your footage and stuff like that. So here's to the people who at least at one point lived down in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah. I grew up in Franklin.
Oh, yeah. But it was like, not so much middle of nowhere. It was just the fact every time I go to work, I get yelled at. I was arguing with other teachers. I was a special ed teacher back then, my first year. It was just like headache after headache after headache. There were some kids who kind of bothered me, but they weren't the problem. It was just the adults. I didn't like how they talked to the kids. I didn't appreciate how one person called someone a retard. I said, what the fuck, lady? And it was just a headache. I was like, all right, I'm going to work. Am I going to kill somebody today? Because it got pretty bad for a while. And the only thing that kept me sane, because again, you've lived there, you know there's nothing to do if you're 26.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. The only thing I had was Street Fighter Cross Tekken, because Tekken Tag 2 was a disappointment. A lot of the stupid stuff from early Cross Tekken was kind of getting filtered out by the time the fall came around. Like by the time Cody and those guys came out, the game was pretty much looking more like a finished product than before.
Yeah.
We'll get to that once we get the update stuff. But yeah, that was all I could focus on. I had the IRC. We had the online tournament series. I said, let me just put up with this nonsense for the day. So when I get home, I can look forward to this and playing this for a little bit before I wash up and go to bed and watch some stuff on YouTube.
Man, so it's like the sanity, like preserved your sanity.
It did. And I've told Ono this many times. I owe a lot to this game. And I owe a lot to you and you guys for bringing it in my hands. So thank you. And I told him, like, recording the LCQ in LA last December, this was my way of repaying that debt. Let me give you some help because you helped me in a tight spot too.
That's cool.
And I can give you the full Capcom scoop as we proceed forward. But yeah, it's been part of me, and I still play it today to kind of help mentally center myself.
Man, so you loved it even with the original release, like the 2012 version.
I knew. So, short version, yes.
Okay.
I knew it wasn't going to be broken for long. I don't know why whenever I go to Beast of the East and I'm setting up and I'm seeing guys ask about the Mega Man float glitch or whatever, I was like, do you really think Capcom's going to leave it sitting there longer than a few weeks?
It's like that was gone.
It's been gone for years.
The
Relentless Freeze glitch. I remember it was probably 2014 or 2015. Sometime I was either playing at either at a con or one of those small events. I was playing some dude, and he picked Relento, and I was playing, I think, Sagat Ogre at the time. And he got really hissy about me about something. I was like, what's going on here? And it's because, so I threw a tiger shot, he did the knife, and it did what normally does. I think the tiger shot might go through at this point, or just cancels out like a normal projectile trade. And his eyes like lit up like the game didn't freeze. 2014, 2015. And I'm looking at him like, dude, is that why you're getting mad at me? You think I was going to kind of scan you out and like collect a life lead and then freeze the game? Like, who do you think made this game? And as you well know, this game, whatever reason, has a rep as a bad game. And I've played more than enough actually bad games to know what bad games are.
Oh, I've seen bad games continue as a tournament life for way longer.
Like BlazBlue Cross Tag.
Dude, MK9. If we're being real.
At least it looked nice.
It did look nice. It was a good looking game. Yeah, I think 12 had a problem here. Just nobody played it after the first like 6 months.
I remember for version 2013, the final version that we're all playing right now, which you saw last night on our Turo stream.
Oh yeah, and it looked great.
Oh yeah, that was definitely what kept me into it, because I knew the original plan was to play Cross Tekken for a bit and then drift to Tag 2 for a bit. And then we'll see what happens. And then Tag 2 came out. I was like, and Cross Tekken got fixed. And I heard version 2013 was coming out. And I saw the preview for it. I said, never mind, we're going back to Cross Tekken.
Yeah.
And from there, it's been with me since then. But yeah, the first day of 2013, I was in Mecklenburg at the time, the Clarksville area. And I was watching on stream. And I was watching, I think Holland was on commentary, and I was watching the matches. At this point, I knew if I had come back there, I was going to take names. Because me being the IRC, I don't want to admit how bad I was back then, but going to the IRC, I realized very quick how to actually be good.
Yeah.
Because I saw what they were doing, and I had already long since labbed that and learned something else by talking to IRC guys, trying to keep my sanity in check when I was in Mecklenburg. And it was, I do know when I came back from Mecklenburg, I was only there for a few months. I got fired at the end. I mean, it was a terrible relationship, so I don't blame them entirely. I was still mad because it hadn't strung me along until I was out the door. So I had to kind of scramble back home to Richmond to gather my thoughts and where my career's going to go.
Gotcha.
I remember going to the dungeon a few weeks after that, and I had a money match with Robin. He said he would only play if I played CDS2, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm not here for your money anyway. I'm here for your soul. So I let him be around with CDS2 with like low tier teams. I didn't play CDS2 really heavy back then. I did a lot in high school though, but he had actually played the game seriously. I had no one to play with in college. That was a Tekken area pretty much. But then we played Cross Tekken. I did pop off and afterwards because he was being like really pissy about it after I won. So I kind of dug in his face a bit. He was playing Ryu Zangief, and I was playing, I think I was still a Sagat guy back then. He was complaining about the Heihachi Zangief stuff. And I told him how to use the point of armor on Gief's running bear grab. So in Cross Tekken, you know how Clark has that piece of auto guard for his light, for his heavy command grab in King of Fighters 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gief has that too for his running bear grab. So I was telling him how to do it. He has to do the 360 motion, and then with the K button, you have to, then I said out loud as I could, hold that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hold that shit. And yeah, I was told his girlfriend was uncomfortable around me because she could hear me screaming from upstairs, something like that.
Yeah.
So it was what it was. It was a good day because I was feeling pretty miserable about how bad things ended in Mecklenburg.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, it's been a constant in my life. I mean, I've become a clinical supervisor. This is my 5th year coming up doing that stuff. I've been 4.5 years now being a supervisor, and I remember that was a pipe dream when I was starting out, and just playing Cross Tekken has kept me motivated during all the tough times in my career.
That's pretty awesome. So it's kind of like the whole thing with Chuck Norris, where he's like, you have to be excellent at karate and you have to be excellent at everything else in your life to be excellent in karate.
That's exactly it. The work ethic I learned playing Cross Tekken, I carry everywhere I go.
That's sweet. Man, do you think, so like back to the game itself, do you think Capcom kind of kicked the feet out from under the game with the Ultra release or the AE 2012 update for Street Fighter 4? Because I felt like I was a tournament organizer at the time, and like the entries for Cross Tekken just disappeared because everybody's characters got buffed and they got like some new characters and they just kind of rolled right back to 4. Then there was a Pro Tour.
This is what Ono told me.
Okay.
This is what's the name of your podcast?
This one doesn't have a name. It's just on my YouTube channel.
All right. This is an Aim for the Feet exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. This is backstage news from Capcom Cup.
Okay.
It's like RF shoot videos about wrestlers talking about how Vince sucks and whatever. When I talked to Ono Capcom Cup, I asked him, because at this point he knew what I was about. He's seen me many times at that point at Evo, at tournaments, always about Cross Tekken.
Yeah.
To a point, he once said, "You are Cross Tekken."
Whoa.
It does mean a lot to me. He said when Capcom was making a list of games to move to Steamworks, Cross Tekken was left out, not because the license lapsed, but because, this was his own words, low priority.
Huh.
So the game is completely under Capcom's license. Namco said, do what you want, it's yours. It's not going to lapse as easily as Marvel or CBS or whatever. But he said it's low priority. So it's kind of my job to make it high priority again. And the way to do that is convince people to play and buy it again. So when it shows up on their financial reports, the quarterlies, they say, whoa, where'd this come from? And then they might look at it again and see what happened. At which point we get the game revived even a little bit. But when the game came out, low priority. They wanted to focus on Ultra. Obviously, Cross Tekken had such a rough start that they wanted to move to what was working and had less effort because there's no Street Fighter 5 at this point. And they wanted to make sure 4 was a good spot because by the time 2012 was ending, it was the game almost played itself for you because of all the unblockables, the vortex and stuff.
Yeah.
So they couldn't leave it that way. You had Cross Tekken doing really well in one spot gameplay wise, but reception wise wasn't that great. Meanwhile, people were playing AE 2012 and they're running these issues, but the money was going to be in Street Fighter 4 because people made their minds up about Cross Tekken compared to 4. So I think a lot of players, they had notions about what the game actually was, accurate or not, and they decided to prefer 4.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you've already put like 4 years into playing Street Fighter 4. And they're like buffing your characters and like fixing glitches you were bitching about. You're like, oh, okay.
I wish Omega got more time to shine.
Yeah, that was just like an add-on. They just made it crazy and kind of threw it in there.
But once they fixed the infinites, the game, it provided a new wrinkle. I actually wanted to play Omega. Like 4 Ultra had some new tricks that I did like, but in the end, it was still 4.
Yeah.
Like I was, by the time Cross Tekken came out, I already been playing 4 for 3 years. I was ready to do something else, and Cross Tekken allowed me to take what I knew from 4 and kind of mix it up a bit. Omega can provide that same ability once they fix the infinites, but unfortunately, the first impression is the one most important.
That's true.
And
I think a lot of people tried to play Cross Tekken from 4, and they're like, oh, this is the new Street Fighter. We're going to play this. And they weren't good at it because it was a different game. And they just went right back to 4. They were like, wait a minute, I was placing top 5 in tournaments in 4. I'll just go play that.
It is a very different game. There are some things that kind of carry over. Obviously, with Street Fighter characters especially, a lot of the moves look pretty much alike.
Yeah.
But the boxes are different, the hit boxes are different. Like, for example, Bison stand heavy kick in Street Fighter 4. It's a godlike button, right?
Yeah.
In Cross Tekken, it's still good, but the hurt box is now enlarged too. Like, I've been stuffed by Dudley's crouching medium punch, almost full screen, throwing out stand medium kick with Bison because of how wonky the hurt box is. And then they just buffer the super, which is his Ultra, which is Rolling Thunder for him in that game. So he just buffered full screen, crouch medium punch into super, and it worked. Because the hurt different for Bison in that game, because as big as hitbox is, his hurt box is even bigger. So that's not the same as 4. Street Fighter 4 Bison heavy kick is godlike in every situation.
Yeah, it just comes out. It has no hurt box on the front of it.
It has its main anti-air. In Cross Tekken, it's still a good anti-air, but it's not nearly as dominant as it was in 4. And a lot of people try to play it, and the worst part is they don't optimize. So that is why I see so many timers that don't have to happen. Keep in mind, there are some characters you can definitely timer scam with. Rolento, for one, even high level, he timer scams really well. Because his combos take forever they do no damage.
Yeah.
Chun-Li, godlike at timer scam because she has combos that take forever, and she can walk backwards super fast.
Oh,
So
yeah,
she can
she's almost like she was in, Third Strike.
just a fortress of keep away from me until I'm ready for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so there are reasons for time over, but not nearly as many as you see. And a lot of that because no one optimizes. A lot of people don't scale properly. A lot of people don't finish their juggles properly. A lot of people don't Oki properly, or at least Oki with their characters in a way where they can afford to do so. Obviously, some characters prefer to cheese you out. Other characters kind of need to be in your grill as much as they can to really scare you. Heihachi, Asuka, Paul, um, Rufus, obviously, just dive kicking from the skies.
Yeah.
Although his buttons are actually really good. Like his neutral buttons, they reach really far. I hate facing Rufus in Cross Tekken. That is the one thing that always throws me off when I'm playing tournament. Um, every time I am playing a tournament and I'm not winning it, there's probably a Rufus somewhere involved. Whether it be a homeless dragon or the guy I beat at Summer Jam, JB, or Brent is cool the last year or so in the Discord. Um, it's always Rufus, but the thing is, he optimizes what he does. His set play is really good, and he makes sure whatever he touches is going to hurt because he's oaking properly.
Yeah. Man, so you just mentioned the Discord. Tell me about that. So you guys built this massive Discord community and you have like the best resources of any fighting game, I would say, like on the planet right now. Like it builds combos for you, it tells you frame data. It I mean, it's like being able to just ask something the answer.
And there's an offline version. I told you about the dossier. I know I brought the book around to
Yeah.
show up. That was something I made not long after I joined. I made it after I won Evo. And let me start with the Discord. This kind of builds up. 2017 was the year I joined the Discord, and it was created not long before by Salt Levels Max. And he was kind of inviting people from SRK. We have a Discord now. I'm like, what's a Discord? I hadn't joined Discord before. That's the first Discord I ever joined. So that was like a big deal for me.
Yeah.
I joined it. And I was like, well, I'm kind of around people to play because I just kind of browse on PSN every so often at that point, trying to find people to play and pray I don't get bopped when I'm at Evo, because I was planning to actually what I call defend the yard and protect my wallet that year. I was tired of just paying people's hotel fees every year. I wanted to kind of say I think I'm ready as a player to compete. So I got 50 year before. So in that Discord, I found Salt, and I found at the time the other officer. His name is Reckless Duckling. He's from France.
Okay.
He's a Raven player mostly. He has other teams too, but that's his main option. And not long after playing him, I was beating him regularly. I was beating everybody regularly at the time. I knew these guys were good. They were definitely a lot better than what I was used to on PSN. But the fact that I was hanging with them and others, I was like, okay, we're kind of getting somewhere. And I was playing a lot of people I knew who had a repute I was doing well against. So I knew I was getting closer. And then Evo happened a few months later. And I was looking forward to it because locally there were scuffles going about. Because I was a man possessed that year. I know you've seen me around 2017, like when I was at the Sova stuff and how I was kind of bickering with people or getting like amped up at people.
Yeah.
Because I was just in a different state of mind. I wasn't going to tolerate anyone telling me no when it came to what I could do. And after all those events, like I faced Rai Rai another time. Like I beat Rai Rai that one old school in that game store, and I got second place against him the week before Evo at Xanadu. But I was really upset because I knew exactly where I went wrong, and I told myself I kept it close all the way through. So it's not like I just lost my touch. It was that he was making the right calls and I was not respecting it.
Hmm.
Probably because I was kind of feeling myself leading into it. Because I knew going into Evo, I'm definitely not the same guy I was a few months ago. But yeah, I was. I won't say maybe I'll say I was definitely humbled because when I was upset. Like when I was done, I told Obama, "Put the camera on me right now. I'm going to tell you what happened." And I explained objectively. Here's what he was doing right. Here's what I was not doing right until the very end, where I had to kind of think about it. And I said, I have no issue losing here. He did great. I did the best I could. I didn't take him seriously. Um, and if we run it back, he might still win. But at least I know I did the best I could, and this is the level I have to play at come next week,
Nice.
win or lose. So I was not unhappy at all. And then Evo came, and I was a little bit nervous. I had only won one cross second event in my lifetime. That was the one in Norfolk. Despite how much I played, I would always get gate kept either second or third.
Ah,
There's always someone. And then the lobby, it was the lobby of Evo. And I'm trying to remember, this is so vivid. I set up cross tech in the lobby. I had my PS3, I had my monitor, and I hooked up. I didn't have my LGP on me. It was in my bag. I didn't feel like recording at the time. It was too much hassle at the time. And I saw Punko pass by. Punko was a killer in this game in days past with Ryu Kazuya and Kazuya Nina. I told Punko, hey, let's play for a bit. And Punko said, sure, get my stick. He did. I crushed him 10-1.
that's amazing.
And during this set, Esta took a picture of Punko, and Punko at the time was like tearing his shirt off. He was shoving this big oak table we were playing on. And I was kind of looking at him like, uh-oh, I don't got my radio on me. I got the toe of this dude? He's kind of freaking out.
Oh, man.
What was the name of our restraint training when I worked at the Villa, the alt ed school? Whenever a kid would act up, like get like super aggressive stuff, it was radio and then use your Tova therapeutic options holds, whatever. I was kind of having flashbacks of working at the Villa, watching Bunko start to tilt a bit. But I definitely felt something change that particular set. Because that's when I knew something had changed. Because there are people behind me, and they're watching us play. And someone said, I don't want to play Punko. I want to play you.
Damn.
You seem like you know what you're doing. Someone reported on Instagram. I never found it, but someone did say it's going on Instagram. I've never seen Punko just get decimated like this in anything. And the next day happened. Esta came, because Esta played me a little bit after Punko left. I didn't decimate his EVA winning team. The one he won the past 3 years, I just decimated Ryu King. He picked Law Lamb, and then I stopped. Said, okay, this is going to be the team he plays. I better not get downloaded. Let me step off real quick.
Nice.
This is a team that beat me. I have to expect this tomorrow. Let me not download so quick.
Did you chill and watch him for a little bit and try and get some info?
No, I knew if I played him more, it would not be good for me.
Ah.
At least at the time, I felt that way.
Okay.
The next day happened. We ran it because a lot of people are like running backwards between pools. I said make it round robin. That way, there was no long gaps. The year before, there were like an hour-long gap between matches because some guy was drowning in pools trying to find his way back to the other side of the venue.
Yeah.
So I said, let's do round robin. That way, we're always playing, so people get back. They're not like bored or whatever. And ran round robin and beat everybody, even Esta. I'd lose a single set.
Wow.
I'm lucky because if I did, I face Esta again. You want to risk it? I cannot watch that setback without cringing because there are things that I know I shouldn't have done because I do have kind of a tendency to kind of feel myself a bit. I've noticed when I start to really get rolling.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was done, I shook his hand. I started shaking like crazy. I didn't want to pop in his face. Like, Esta's a bro. I don't want to be rude to him. There's some guys, obviously, all implement that bad boy mentality, but that's not him. So I kind of like turned to like a direction towards where I knew he wasn't walking towards. And then I popped off loud as I could. Big woo, and this is my yard now.
Nice.
keep in mind there were still matches I had to play, but all the guys who I knew were good enough to beat me had already gone through and beaten. And I was locked in. Murder, death, kill.
That's amazing.
Murder, death, kill. Anyone after that, I just decimate. I don't remember who I played. I just knew that they got completely wiped. Like, I played as I'd never played before. And I know I probably made some enemies that day with how I was acting because I was on a different level of my competition. I was just locked in. Just like Last Dance, how MJ is a certain way when he plays. It's the same thing at the time. I don't remember what I was saying. I didn't like DX chop or anything like that, but I do know it was kind of discourteous for a bit. And after that, I kind of soaked in for a bit. I love how you kind of died down a bit because for the first month, I was like on cloud nine.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think it's understandable that I would be. I know people said I was acting out. There are people who have defriended me.
Oh, dude, I remember running into you at something like a few months after that, and you didn't even say, hey, you were like, I'm an Evo champion now. And I was like, I heard, that's amazing. I think it was somewhere up in Richmond.
It had to have been. But yeah, I definitely, for a long time, I was on cloud nine. It took them all to kind of die down a bit. It didn't help that the other game I was going to play died quickly too, Marvel Infinite.
Oh, yeah, that game had no life.
Yeah, that game was like, what the? I was like, I'm finally playing something new after 5 years. That's what happens? Even quicker than last time? I was like, give me a break. And then Dead or Alive had the exact same fate. Dead or Alive 6. And I'm like, what? No!
That made no sense.
Oh my God. So
the dossier.
The dossier. I made the dossier with the Discord, but it was mostly just me.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote all the character breakdowns, but I wrote it, and this is something I'm getting used to. It seems whenever I'm upset about something cross-Tekken, somehow how I calm down. I was looking to leave my then current job. I was unhappy with people coming and going, and I felt like I was about to go too. We were like bleeding employees and trusted people. And it wasn't the same people that I was kind of enjoyed working with. So I was getting started on it after Evo because I had plans for it for a while. Because I'm a commentator first, I'm a commentator organizer. I wanted to show this every playing I've ever done with this game. And when I finally found the job, I used a Red Bull article about me as a interview resume package, and it worked. I got the job. The next Monday, I was at Fall Classic in between talking about it. And I turned in my notice Monday. I said, I'm going to give a week because they want me sooner than I expected. A week would be time to clear off all my MPI numbers and stuff so I don't bill under my previous company when people ask about my numbers. I don't create like a huge scandal. So I gave my week notice. I was let go that same day.
Oh, wow.
And I was upset because I was the only BCBA there for a while. That's the name of my particular licensed mental health profession, a board certified behavior analyst. And I was the only guy there for a year, so I was the only reason they were making money for a while. And I still didn't get promoted, and I still got passed down. I kept quiet about it. When I finally looked elsewhere to get the promotion I feel like I deserve, that's how you do me. So I was very angry for the next few days, and I used that anger to make the dossier.
Oh, wow.
I didn't feel like playing. I knew if I brought this attitude, I would not last long at the other job.
So you just decided to push it and focus on something productive?
Yes.
And broke down every character in the game?
I knew I could. I think there's maybe 3 of them that the guy who made that bot in the Discord did. But most of it was all me.
Wow.
But yeah, that was the story. I made my own cross-Tekken Bible.
That's incredible.
I just added the complete frame data during this COVID stuff.
Man. So there's really no excuse not to learn how to play cross-Tekken.
It's there if you're looking, and that's going to lead into that point about people's perception about the game and not optimizing. When I was in someone's chat, I think Chris T's chat the other day, I was judging a match because he was complaining about lag or something like that. So I came in to see, is this canon? and I was watching the match to make sure I consider it this is doable lag or whatever as the main PO. And someone was talking about Pandora and stuff like that. I was fact checking him hard, and he was saying, "Don't talk about." And he said, "Don't talk to me like I never played this game." I was like, "Sorry, man, I'm telling you the truth." And he was getting upset. So I'm always gonna poke at people, just like I poke at someone who talks about how great these auto combo bullshit games are, like Fighters or Cross Tag or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I'll tell them every single time, "Are you ready to press square?" No, I'm ready to press square. If you weren't ready to press square, why is that an option on whiff? Like Bardock. He
Yeah.
can swing the fences Simpson style, and he'll get himself an anti-air and a full combo.
Yep.
I'm told he still has that.
I think he does. I don't play that game, but I know some people that play it.
Yeah, I know. I think I told he still has that particular silliness about it. Or Frieza has his force choke that hits full screen only from mashing square full screen.
It's ridiculous. And people still play that game. And that was going to be a main stage game at EVO this year?
Well, remember, it was the most entered game. People treated that game like it was Second Coming. And I looked at them all like they were watching Teletubbies and serious drama.
Oh, I had so many people try to tell me that game was Marvel 2. And I was like, no. This game is nothing like Marvel 2.
Right? Well, that's probably why all the Marvel 2 players didn't stick with it for the most part.
Oh, yeah, they played it for about 4 minutes.
Yeah, unless they were like someone who really needed their paycheck for their sponsor, they didn't do it.
True.
So it's no surprise that Sonic Fox, who specializes in games that are looked at sideways, is the one who's king at it.
Yeah. It's crazy. So what's the tournament scene like for Cross Tekken now in 2020?
So after I won EVO, I made sure I told everyone about it, not just for my own inflating ego, but to show people, one, people still played, and two, was still competitive because new people were doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, who won the previous tournament was in that tournament. He didn't win.
True.
This time I did. And I made sure from that point onward, everyone knew this game is competitive. And I made sure people came in. Because for a while, I was like, I won. And then I was like, now what? I've been climbing and climbing and climbing. And now we're here. What do we do now? And I said, let me do one more EVO just to say that I'm going to defend my title. Because it would be kind of a bitch move if I just kind of ducked after that one.
Oh, to win the championship and then walk?
Not because of me being afraid to lose, more the fact I wanted to play other games. So I'd finally gotten that monkey off my back. I wanted to kind of focus on other stuff.
Yeah.
Like it. Or play more Street Fighter 5 like I was doing leading into that event. But yeah, so I did another one. After that, so I went to Combo Breaker on a whim that year as well. I didn't run anything though. I did. I ran Samurai Showdown 5 Special that year. Because I heard how great Combo Breaker was. I figured I'd do it instead of Final Round. And I went and had a great time. And said, let's make this a cross-second area at Combo Breaker. And then 2019 Combo Breaker, after I was done with EVO 2018, I lost to Homeless Dragon in Esta. I got third, but it's okay. I knew, like, mentally I was not upset about it, so it probably wasn't that bad of a deal. Combo Breaker, I ran a tournament. LPN won. We managed to get on Arturo's stream, and that video now has like 330,000 views, something like that.
Wow.
Like, it just exploded in views. I'm like, this is my voice on this video. And I was pretty hyped about it because I love commentating. I just wish I had a partner at the time who knew what he was talking about. That's the hard part about commentating cross-tech. It is hard to find someone who's willing to let you talk and also someone who knows what you're talking about. A lot of times I'm carrying people hard on commentary because they're trying to inject hype. And I was like, what are you doing? Don't inject hype. The game is hyped up as is. You're being superfluous. I don't care about your Marvel stuff. I don't care about your memes. I don't care about your tropes. I'm here for cross-tech, and so should you be.
Okay.
And I'm definitely going to deal with some cross looks afterwards. Like at CEO when I was commentating, we ran at CEO, also had the mainstream. So I made sure that we had the mainstream so people know we're playing. And I would sometimes like write a notepad, let me talk more, please.
That was last year.
I was CEO last year when
Yeah.
I was wearing Steve Nash jersey.
Okay. Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah. But yeah, um, this game is my second religion. I've made sure to spread its gospel, and with this pandemic, people are picking up again in droves. And now that I have Arturo on my side, long term, he says we're gonna do it again next month.
That's cool.
Uh,
How many
I'm really.
people did you guys have in it this time?
We had about 16. A couple people slept in though.
Okay.
Um, we used to have it on Sundays, but now they have to give it Arturo. I have to kind of make it Saturday, so I have time to kind of cut it and slice and send it to him for the next day. And they forgot it was Saturday. But I told them like weeks in advance, it'll be Saturday, Saturday, because I don't know when Arturo wants to stream, but let's do it as soon as we can. He probably wants to do it during Memorial Day weekend, and he did. He did it yesterday.
Yeah, I watched I think I watched all the way up to like losers finals and then I had to go eat dinner.
Yeah, losers finals was the same set as winners bracket between Carnage and LPN. For some
Ah,
reason, set the same set twice. Even though I told the guy I need the separate versions. But yeah, no worries.
what about for offline? Like after the pandemic thing cools down and there's or if it cools down and there's majors again, like what's the plan for cross tech and offline? Do you guys
Obviously,
have an event where you all meet up or
so obviously, there's only one event that's still planned. That CEO is December.
Mhm.
That's going to be a target.
Okay.
Um, I will apply for that soon once I see um, applications for it. I applied already, so it should be fine again. Uh, and then in January or February, they moved the Capcom Cup back to America. It's
Ooh.
unlikely I can run something there because it's only for that one event. And given how cramped it was last time, I can't imagine improving much.
Yeah.
Or maybe it does. Maybe they'll make it like a huge all Capcom games event, and I can finesse something from my former overlords, the Capcom area.
Yeah, I wish Capcom would do that. Just
I don't
support
know.
more than one game at a time.
So I know they have to support a bottom line, obviously, because Sony's putting all their chips in Street Fighter Five,
Yeah.
which is a business. That's why when we're talking about like wrestling and stuff, you never hear me talk about my favorites.
Okay.
We talk about this is how the business is and why they're probably pushing this dude and not pushing this dude. I'm only worried about the facts. The fact is, I want it to happen. Let me see why it's not happening. The answer why it's not happening is Sony is putting their money and Red Bull is putting their money, and you see where this is going. All the sponsors are putting their money into this game, Street Fighter Five, and I get it.
Yeah.
I like Five. I wouldn't be hosting Quarantine Quarrels if I didn't like Five at some level.
That's true.
And you hear me talk about Five and getting hyped up over it, so you know I'm not just going to be bored about it. I
Yeah.
could not have the same energy in Dragon Ball.
True. I've enjoyed your commentary for 5.
I appreciate it. Thank you. A lot of people say they like it. I do appreciate their compliments because, again, I've been working hard in my commentary because my goal in the FGC still is to be a commentator. And I feel I have the energy and knowledge base to do so at this point.
Yeah, that's one thing that 5 has lacked the entire time the game has been the game for Capcom is the commentary isn't educating. You know, I learned 4 by watching it, watching every major and playing casuals. And it's like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Let me try that. And I'd have literally have the stream on for Evo or whatever and be playing the game, testing out stuff that I saw them do because the commentators noted it, you know?
I, I've been doing that for Power Rangers.
Really?
I want to play Power Rangers really bad, but the combos keep changing because they keep adding new things like OTGs and wall bounce and stuff. So many combos I learned the month before doesn't work anymore. They nerf the damage of it, so I have to do like even longer combos. So what I do now is I watch like recent tournaments and I keep track of here's what they're doing. Or I watch like combo videos, but it only works so well if I want things that are practical, not just fancy.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of combo videos for 5.
Yeah. But as you said, it does feel like they're trying to artificially inject hype, so it makes people seem like it's not hype. For me, I love watching Street Fighter Five. And I had a great time watching it with that Bison cosplayer when I was sitting at the tables dressed as G at the Capcom Cup.
Nice.
And I had a great time splicing all that footage and watching it, seeing what people were doing. And I remember seeing names like that soccer player Nabon, because I was like, Nabon. And I looked at my database of all the matches I recorded, and I said, isn't that the soccer I was looking at a couple of days ago when I was chopping up footage? So I'm seeing people who were in that place do so well, but as you said, no one's really breaking down why they're doing so, what they're doing is so smart.
Yeah.
And I try to do that every time I take the mic, no matter what game it is. I only feel comfortable commentating a game if I feel like I know what's going on. Even Tekken, I could probably get by in Tekken, just because like we play DR together, at least know the
Yeah, yeah.
basics. I would be like a back one or whatever, or the down forward three, the snake edge, probably going to be something I watch out for since he's been favoring it a lot and stuff like that. You'll hear me talk with cross Tekken. You've heard me like never stop talking throughout the entire event because I was breaking down every single thing that happened.
Oh, I know, and you kept noting when somebody wasn't doing something optimized, and it sounded like it got to you a little. You're like, "You could optimize that.
Because
Please."
the reason why is that's how the time overs happen.
Yeah.
All those time over matches probably happen from stuff like that, where you get a launcher and you just go, sweet. All right. I'm not going to chase you and catch your roll. I'm just going to let you just get up whatever, and then we're going to try again.
Yep. Then you gotta play neutral for 20 seconds or whatever.
And you saw how different it was with Chris T and, like, for example, Chris and Phantom.
Yeah.
Phantom is someone who we trained in that Discord. He's one of the other officers. He came a little bit later, I think. But we trained him. We made him a killer. Now Phantom's dunking on Justin Wong and his streak for Cross Tekken. That's why I said on Conquer he went from he's got potential to what have we done?
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
And it means a lot to me that all these top guys now see them and see me as like the forefront, because that's all I wanted. I wanted to bring this game back, and I said every single time I saw you guys, whether it be at that game store or the dungeon or the forge or that Richmond comic shop that we had for a little bit when Wes was running it. I'm going to bring this back someday. I'm always going to keep playing it, and one day it will pay off, and it has.
It's a cool game, man. You've done a lot for it.
It's weird, like, for me to finally revive it now, and to see it thrive like this. I'm kind of my plans are shifting, I guess, because it was always a matter of what I'm going to do when I get here. Now that I'm here, now the game is buzzing hard right now. I had to kind of think what the next step is. I was going to be trying to get another port for the game where you don't have to do like 8 million things to get it to work on your computer.
Yeah, or play on PS3.
I'll play on PS3 or 360. I was actually on 360 earlier today. There's nobody home. I still pay for gold, but who knows?
Yeah. I think I have it on PS3 and 360. I've not bought it on Steam yet.
People still play on PS3 pretty regularly, though, much more so than 360. But those guys are weird.
Yeah.
The guys. So, and if they see this, I will tell them you can debate it when you see in person CEO. In the meantime, you're just NPCs to me.
Wow.
They would like say all these mean things to me. Like they would say I'm fat and obese, or they call me names and stuff, or I'm ducking, or I'm a pussy, or whatever. And then I play them. It's like, you're okay, I guess. And I'm beating them 5-0 or 5-1. And then I just look like a dick because I'm lecturing them like I'm their father. When we're done, I'm trying to be like somewhat helpful about it, but just mentally I feel like I'm just wagging my finger at you, not even like to pop off on you, just acting like I'm your dad, trying to teach you better. because I've had to mute you guys. I'm trying to focus on stuff or talk to people without you posting clown emotes or whatever. Meanwhile, whenever I run into you, stuff happens and I upload it to show that this happened. You accuse me of bullying you.
Ah. So there's a definitely a divide between the PS3 and the PC community for it?
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
I'm probably the only one that entertains both because I pull things. That's why I still pay for gold in case I find some replays. Someone can send me. I can add it to my podcast, Street Chatter Cross Talking.
Mhm.
I haven't done it in a while. I have to do that. I was playing some sets with Brent and Chris, and I want to put on the stream while I was talking about it. I've been playing other characters too. Like after I went Evo, I started playing everybody just so I could make the most complete guide that I could by going loud a little bit more. Before I was a little conservative, just winning with my own team.
Yeah.
Now that I actually got that off my back, it's okay. Now that I've won something, I can ease up a bit, and then we can start training again when there's other events to play, or at least train enough so if I play someone casual, I don't embarrass myself. I know everyone's looking for an excuse to be godlike in a game that quote unquote nobody plays.
That's true. You gotta always get those headhunters, man.
But you have to kind of take a step back so you don't become that one guy who only keeps the game alive because he's good at it.
That's true too.
That was something I came to grips with. I got banned from the old IRC not long after I won Summer Jam over something silly. I don't even remember what. I don't even remember why I got banned. No one gave me a straight reason why. But the Summer Jam that I won that gold medal in, that was a day. And I got food poisoning that morning.
Oh, God.
And I woke up early to make my train because I didn't feel like driving up 95 to Philly. Take a train, I'll have to worry about traffic going back home when I go back to work.
Yeah.
And so I had food poisoning because I was like in highs trying to find my keys. I couldn't find my keys anywhere. I had to leave for my train. And I was flipping out. No, it was my wallet. I found my wallet. My wallet was sitting on my couch arm the whole time. After like an hour of sweating profusely trying to find it, and I'm like, give me a break. So I pulled it in. My stomach's in knots by now. All I could do on the train was just sip on a Coke and sit in the bathroom for a bit, wait for my stomach to kind of calm down a bit.
Ugh.
And by the time it calms down, I get hungry again. I get there. I have to head over to the venue. There's no food allowed because the week before was the Madden shooter. So now I'm starving. And I woke up early and I was sweating like crazy. I have to run the tournament, or at least stream the tournament because the tournament being run by Big E and stuff. I was just streaming. And then originally it was capped, and I decided to take my name off because they wanted to open up the cap spot again if we had to. It was a cap tournament, 32. It was a full-man tournament. And then they called my name. I was like, "Well, I play?" I thought I took off. I said, "You chicken out?" I said, "No, I'll play." Well, let's go for it. What's worse going to happen? I win the whole event. I don't lose a single game.
Wow.
There are people from all over the world this one. There was some guy from Japan who was there. Viros was his name. He's usually a Marvel player. JB was there. Rickwa was there. Tega was the first guy I faced, and I blew through him like nothing. NY Tega, he's a Shoto player. Street Fighter 5. I looked at the bracket that I was playing in, and I was like, wow, I beat a lot of people today. I wasn't thinking about it. Let's just play and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get hyped though. I was like hungry and I was tired. I felt like I'm playing like dog shit today. For good reason, mind you. And in between that and top 8, we had a little bit of breaks. I went to grab some combos, just put something in my mouth until I was done. I was like on life support. Some guy got mad at me because he was salty he lost and turned to somebody. And I play him with Jack Hugo. It's like maybe my 8th team on the bench. And I decimate him. And he's like being mean to me. And I look at him in the eye. I tell him, I put a lot of time in this game. Do not disrespect this game. Do not disrespect the other team. And do not disrespect me. And I had to get by to start the stream. And he tells me, don't fucking touch me. So I turn around and I tell him, don't you take that tone with me, mister. I mean, straight up Bob Backlund promo. And I'm getting hot. I'm about ready to like take HDMI cord and put it on his neck. I'm mad right now.
Oh no.
And like being this way to me for the next few minutes. And I have like no tolerance. I'm starving. And he said, what are you going to do about it? I was like, I'm thinking to myself, don't choke him out. Don't choke him out. Don't choke him out. So I walked back to my screen quietly. I'm fuming and he's like taunting me. So I text his girlfriend. I only know it's his girlfriend because his girlfriend came a few minutes before saying, where's my PS3? I said, what are you talking about? And I said, some guy brought his PS3 over. And I said, no, that's mine. I was like, well, who is this guy? How's he has your PS3? And then that's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So I text her. I can show the text later to show them I make it up. I said, tell your boyfriend that when he comes back to shake my hand or there would be really big problems. I said, he said, what's going on? I said, he cursed me out and I'm really upset about it. I was like, what are you talking about? When does this happen? I explained what happened and she came over. I said what was going on. And you can hear me commentate top 8 for Summer Jam on my channel. And you'll hear me swearing. Like I was mad. And you'll hear me say, this might be my last FGC event because I might be in jail before this day is done.
Oh shit.
And because I was fuming. I still won, mind you. But keep in mind, after I won, I beat JB. I act like I lost. I said I missed all these things. I anti-aired too much. I was jumping. I blew all my air-to-airs. I was being critical of myself. Because I knew I could do better. Like I won probably the hardest brackets that many people consider. Obviously, there have been, in my opinion, some Evo brackets were harder I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
But on paper, looking back on it, that was actually a pretty stacked bracket. Not so much of like pure cross-Tekken players, just like really good fighting game players.
Wow.
Tega, JB, Vyros, a lot of guys you've heard of and stuff like that. And I just blew through them like it was nothing. But I was not happy because I was just so tired. I was exhausted. And I was trying to get hyped up. I just couldn't. I just feel like this is not my best. Why did I win? And then like this thought entered my head. Am I the only one who still cares?
Damn.
And that hurt. And when I said that I got banned from the IRC, I don't know why, but I was in a really weird mood for like a few months. And that's when I decided to take a step back saying, I need to let this game grow on its own. If I want people to play, I need to focus on being a TO and a commentator and not do 8 million things at once, commentating, playing, streaming, everything. Wow, that was draining.
Man, yeah, I bet. You can't do everything but for so long.
And the fact that I still got the gold medal when I wasn't even playing to play in the first place. But I remember the guy who won the Evo. So I won 2017. The guy I'm talking about won Evo 2018. He texted me and he told me your stream got really creepy really fast. I said, yeah, that was in a fight with that Vega Ogre player that you saw on stream or in the day. I said, what kind of fight? I explained what's going on. And I said, how do you feel? I said, exhausted, disappointed. I don't know if that was my best performance because you saw how I was feeling. And then he texted me back, well, I wouldn't have been too proud either. Because being quite honest, Aaron, you were leagues ahead of all of them.
Damn.
And I feel like, I don't know if he probably said it just to kind of troll me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate that he told me that because that meant a lot to me. That someone who I had played this long, because he's someone I've been playing since the beginning. I started playing heavily. I've been playing him like 2013. We kept playing. We were the two guys who kept playing for a long time on PSN and Xbox. So for him to say that after his accolade, say that about me, that meant a lot to me. And that's what told me to kind of be, and I have problems with this, I need to be secure about what I've done and use that to propel others.
That's awesome.
Whenever I hear someone like Stryker, for example, do as well as he has, or I hear Kupo, Sakura, do as well as he has, or Duck, the Huarong Raven, the other officer,
mm-hmm.
is like making people upset because he's just dunking on them with his team, even people with a lot of esports repute. for them to say that their battles with me helped shape them to who they are, that is why I'm happy I made decisions I've made moving forward with the FGC, and why I don't think it's that surprising that these decisions have led me to backstage at Capcom Cup or talking with Arturo and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
I think just the journey itself and finding ways to continue that journey, obviously with clear destinations at some points, but at least if I reach that destination, like if I win a tournament or if I'm right now, the game is surging, what to do next, I always have a goal in mind because this game has been a center for me for so many years now. And the fact that I can carry this with me wherever I go, whether it be not just fighting games, but when I'm doing my career, it kind of continues my motivation to keep doing stuff and keep shooting higher.
That's awesome. So if people want to get in now, like as we're wrapping up, like where can they find you? Where can they find the scene for it? What's available?
So one way you can see what's going on is my YouTube channel, Psychoblue SFXT.
Okay.
I usually upload my channel is called Cross Wires. That's the name of all of our shows. We have mostly team games, but now it's just become games I want to play, whether it be Cross Tekken or Infinite or NBA Playgrounds or Neo Geo Battle Coliseum or Power Rangers or Dead or Alive. Street Fighter Five, obviously, I'm running the Virginia locals.
Yeah.
You can find it there. You can go to the Discord, which I can give you the link to. You can put it in the YouTube page.
Oh, for sure.
You could obviously keep eyes on Twitch and see who's streaming. Everybody's streaming it now. It used to be just me, but now we have obviously you have Chris T streaming it a lot more. Justin streams it. Arturo's been asking for replays, so he's been putting up more replays for it. And then you have the Japanese guys, Hazama Mugen and his crew. Hazama is so Esta's moved entirely to like modern games. He told me I'm retired from Cross Tech, and I respect that. Esta's done fantastic. I'm happy for everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not someone who judges people by dumping their game. I know people who do that. I think that's weird. I know you have to because you want to play other stuff after a while. Game's 8 years old. I get it.
Yeah.
Even I'm doing like I want to play other stuff real quick. Like I'm playing Killer Instinct and Virtua Fighter right now because I've been always meaning to and stuff like that. But Hazama is the main Japan guy right now. He runs all the almost daily events now. Like I see him run lobbies like 4 times a week on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
His crew, like Drunken Jackie, that's Esta's brother. You have Kagra, who's also plays this game a ton. You have Calgao, you have Zist, you have Felicia Zero, and whoever else. There's Aquamarine. Those are his guys in Japan crew. You can follow him and watch Japanese action. Hazama's really cool. If I'm the guy in America, he's the guy in Japan at this point.
Nice.
I do remember when we faced off at EVO 2018 because we had a first attend the year before when I won. Like the day after I won, I had a first attend kill some time until his friend got so we can go out and have burgers at Shake Shack together. He beat me 10-1, but I was really upset. I mean, I knew I was playing like nonsense. I gave no cracks. I just won EVO the day before.
Yeah.
I was not at all mad about how I was doing. If anything, I probably gave the comments he needed to go into EVO Japan and take care of business. He won EVO Japan a few months later.
Sweet.
And we faced each other in the first round of EVO 2018 Cross Tekken. And I peed on him twice and route to beating him 2-0. I was going for a third one. I'm not going to lie, I was going for a third one. Because I was just, you should have seen me. Again, this is how I get when I'm like in the zone. It's probably why I've been kicked from so many Discords and chats and stuff over the years. I was like doing this like after like the second perfect. I knew like we're cooking with Grill right now against the EVO Japan champion. And I saw a text afterwards. Like I looked at his Twitter because I saw him like on his phone, and what he said was, "Ugh, I can't beat Aaron." Because like they know me by a first name basis. Whenever he or Estes says Aaron, everyone on their feed knows exactly who they're on about. And that also means a lot to me. But I did tell Hazama, as always, thank you and stuff like that. I always take the Japanese guys out for dinner, or no, for lunch. I take them for lunch every year, just to kind of break the ice. It's been a while, and let me treat you and thank you for continuing to play and playing games with me and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they appreciate it, and it means a lot to me that I've had the impact on their lives. That they value what I do and what I bring, and for them to again bring that respect. While I might pop off in a match, like once the adrenaline dies down, I do appreciate them what they bring, and I think they're all very talented. And I think I appreciate you giving me this avenue to kind of talk about. Here's my mentality. So if I'm being a dick to you, don't take it personally. I'm just kind of in the zone right now. Just kind of talk to me when I'm calm and stuff, and no hard feelings. Just like on the court.
Yeah.
You throw an elbow in my face, and we're on the court. Long wearing goggles, I'll take it. I know it's part of the game. It's they're saying when you're playing fighting game, not gonna like go in your face and like stand in front of your screen or whatever, but at least let me be a kid for a bit. I mean, we're playing video games after all, and something we've been doing since we were kids.
Yeah.
It's our way of kind of staying young in a way.
I miss that, man. I miss that like competitive hype and everything in this era of like esports and everything being like correct and everyone being polite. Like I miss that like shouting next at the guy next to you on the machine and all that. It's odd, you know?
I try not to. I try to be polite when I can, but I do know once I'm in the zone, sometimes I can't help myself. Like I have no idea what I say sometimes or what I do. I did hear Brent tell me you laugh like the Joker when we play. So I had the mic on somehow. And I know there was a time when I was playing Street Fighter 5 monthlies when I was, I think it was Adam's brother who called it Pinsky Mall time. And I would get in a certain way. I think one time I sang a guy Britney Spears when I was beating him.
That's awesome.
With Punko, I sang him the waltz that played when Snake Eyes was beating me on his video in his Red Bull Vanny documentary.
Oh, shit.
Because I watched it, and everyone said, "Isn't that the guy from the Snake Eyes video?" I'm like, "That's right. And I'm dunking on this Red Bull guy now."
Nice. That's awesome, man.
I thought I was free because of that video. And I remember some guy from Red Bull said, "Where the fuck was this versus Snake Eyes?" And my response was, "That was his yard. But Cross Tekken is my yard. And I don't tend to lose on home court."
Sweet.
And that year, I didn't. Yard was defended.
Man, well, it's time to wrap it up. You have anything you want to add? Any personal links, anything like that? I can throw stuff in the show notes and everything as well.
Absolutely. How about you? I'm going to share with you in the chat my flyers for what's coming up. So while we had a long set about Cross Tech and where we're going, and by the way, shouts to all the officers at the Discord, Reckless Duckling, Salt Levels Max, Parapets. Parapets the guy who makes the bot, by the way. Phantom Striker, you've all done fantastic keeping this game alive the way you guys had. Now we're buzzing, and I feel like now I can kind of take a step back a bit. Now I'm not like carrying a game like Atlas in the world. I can focus on commentary and just running a clean tournament. So thank you guys for making things happen the way they have. Let me go in the chat. I'll copy paste some stuff. In addition to that, and as you said about competitive stuff, I will admit it's kind of hard for me to get amped up with no events to look forward to for now.
Yeah.
You only train so much before you realize what's now other than online stuff. So right now, what we're doing is obviously repairing these monthly things. I'm just worried about making sure the matches get to where they need to be in a clear manner.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also running other events. I'm going to pull up there my captures of all my flyers and hype stuff. I'm running other events, and I have to probably plan the next Marvel event I'm running, Marvelous Meetings. Did you know Infinite is jumping way more than it should on Xbox?
Yeah.
Like, the Windows version is crossed with Xbox One. It's like packed every single day. like 7, 8 lobbies at a time of
Wow.
all these players playing the game. And I'm like, if only they had this after Infinity War came out.
Yeah.
If they had, like Black Panther and stuff day one and they were building to Infinity War, and they also had like Venom there and you just had his movie, it would have been much better received. Because people are playing realizing, whoa, this game was actually good. I was like, yeah, Capcom doesn't make crap games despite what people might claim.
Hmm.
You can say what you want with Street Fighter V being somewhat static, but you can't deny as a game it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
As a fighting game, it makes perfect sense. Probably too much sense, though. That's why no one's surprised they see something, because the game makes so much sense, it's hard to really surprise people, other than when someone screws up and then all disaster breaks loose.
True.
Let's see if I can pull it here. Okay, that is one of my cross-second flyers, by the way. You can take a look at that. We also have the Duo Fantasies by Dead or Alive series. I gotta do another one. It's been so long since about Dead or Alive. But now the game's in a weird spot. I suppose we'll see what happens. We also have my NBA Playgrounds replays, the crossplay crossovers. We also have, like talked about, Mobless Meetings. That's my Infinite Tournament series. I have a WWE All-Stars Discord. So join on that and play. We could do Parsec or whatever.
Nice.
But once Battle Rounds comes out, I'll be all over that. We also have the Shattered Skirmish. That is our Battle for the Grid tournament series. And what else do we have? And I just started this recently. Well, here's another one. Obviously, there's next week we'll be back with the Quarantine Quarrels. That's our Street Fighter V Virginia Online Locals. Until my work says you're booked Tuesday nights again, I will continue doing them. And once we have that issue, we will obviously take a poll of what to do next. And finally, thanks to the wonderful strides that were made, where is it? I'm trying to find it. Sorry about that.
That's cool.
With the strides we've made with Null DC, we are about to have Neo Geo Battle Coliseum online play once more. I don't have a title screen for it yet, but I do have this nice flyer you can put up of Shiki facing King Lion.
That's
I
awesome.
love that game, by the way. That game I played all the time along with Tekken DR in college.
Sweet. Yeah, send me all the flyers, man. I'll put them at the end of the video.
All right, just it's in the group chat.
Oh, sweet.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to me talk about what I've done, what the scene has done, and how I continue to be of service to you guys for those looking to play whatever fighting game is tickling both our fancies. Obviously, some games all side-eye, but if we have a mutual interest, I'll be sure to tell you where to find places to play it, especially as the world around us sickens, because it looks like Raccoon City out there.
Cool.
I heard to lift the quarantine pretty soon in my area, though.
Yeah, they kind of lifted it here. It's weird.
Yeah, but I think we have to actually go back in the homes and stuff. So that reschedule might be happening sooner than I would like.
Ugh.
For now, though, it's do what you can, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay hype, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
My pleasure. Thanks for talking to me.
Cool. I'll catch you later.